Hi there, this is Sherry Hayes with MomDelights.com. I'm the mom of 15. I've been homeschooling for over 3 decades, and today I want to share with you something that will bless you and add to your day. So, go ahead and sweep the floor and wash the dishes and do the vacuuming and listen as we dive into the good life in Jesus. So today I want to talk about the power of an apron. And I think that aprons are some of the most powerful things we can wear as women. Why? Because she who rocks the cradle might rule the world, but she who wears the apron keeps the world moving. That's right, girls. When we put on our apron, we're doing more than just, cleaning the house. We are fighting against chaos. You remember, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and that sin brings destruction. But when we decide to put on an apron and fight against that by picking up and cleaning up and doing all those things, we are actually bringing the order of God's kingdom to the earth. So what we do is very important work. Trust me, it makes a difference. So when I put on my apron, it empowers me. What it does is it keeps me safe from all the things, right? Like the cleaning products and the bodily fluids. Anybody with an infant, a toddler, or a teenager knows that you're going to come against some bodily fluids in your day, right? You have an apron, you're protected. Okay, it keeps me safe from all kinds of other yucky things, right? That I have to take care of during the day. And it saves wear and tear on my clothes. If you do the same thing over and over, like, at the sink when you're washing the dishes, and sometimes we put a little bleach in there, some cleaning products, right? And we can rub like a band right at our tummy, right where our tummy reaches the sink, and it just wears out your clothes, right? Why do that to your clothes? Let your apron take the brunt of that punishment, right? Now, they give a place for me to keep all the other tools that I need throughout the day. Okay, I like to keep maybe a handkerchief or some tissues in there for wiping noses and tears and all that kind of stuff. I've even kept a cleaning rag. If I'm really into cleaning, I'll put a cleaning rag in there, just a little one. Okay, I can hang cleaners from my apron pockets, right? Bottles of cleaning fluid that I spray, I can hang those in there. I can even put clothespins in my pockets, and if I want to hang something out on the line, I have the clothespins, put them up. When I take it down, I put them right back in my pocket. Aprons are notoriously good for that, right? Okay, I keep scissors in there because I'm always cutting something. I'm always cutting a package open, or cutting the thread off of something, or cutting a tag off some clothes, something. I'm always using my scissors. I can even open boxes with my scissors, right? Sometimes it's good to keep a little notepad and a pen. I jot down all kinds of ideas or things I need to remember. I jot down ideas for videos I want to make, or projects, or whatever, or homeschool things I need, or business, like I need to call, this or that, the other thing. Okay, I can keep a multi-tool in my pocket, right? So that way I can have pliers and screwdrivers and everything. So, a knife. I can have it all right there. I even have a little saw and a file on mine. So I can keep it in my pocket. It's a little heavy, so I don't always do it. But if you're moving or anything, I tell you what, you will love it, having a multi-tool in there for all, like if you're putting furniture together or whatever, when you're moving, especially having a multi-tool in your apron pocket is amazing. Okay, they also give me a place to put things like I even keep little packages of gummies in my apron, if I have little kids around, because they kind of like, if they're sad, it gives them a little boost. If I catch them doing something good, I can give them a treat. It always helps. Okay. They give me a morale boost. Wearing an apron gives me a morale boost because it's like suiting up for war, like I said. And also it can dress me up. So if I'm wearing some really plain clothes, I'm just doing regular everyday work, I can wear a pretty apron on top and I instantly feel nicer. Okay. Now, the sources for these are all over the place. One of my favorite places to get aprons is at the thrift stores because a lot of people have good intentions. They buy aprons, they don't wear them. And so I go where they're hung up in the back of the Goodwill and I just go through and I pick the best, the cream of the crop. And I also love to go to different thrift stores. They're all over the place. Estate sales and garage sales are another place where you can find some really good aprons, especially estate sales, because older people tend to have more aprons. So you can really score some. I've scored some gorgeous ones that were like vintage aprons, and I did wear them out because they were so pretty. Well, I don't like to just keep things in boxes, but anyway, they were gorgeous and they were starched in a box with tissue paper when I found them. Can you believe it? Okay, Sam's Club sells a pack of like restaurant aprons, and I think they're usually in black and maroon, and they even have white ones, I think, but I don't buy white in general because they get wrecked. But anyway, you can get those pretty cheaply just via Sam's Club. Walmart has aprons like hanging on the different end caps in the aisles that you can find. You can get them on Amazon. I'm an Amazon reviewer, so I get free product and I review them, and so I have a number of the aprons that I've gotten via Amazon. Some of them I've loved, some of them were okay, but I can link the ones that I like the best down below. You can even sew them yourself. What I did recently is I found some upholstery fabric at the Goodwill that an upholstery place had given to the Goodwill, and it was just bits and pieces, and there were some really pretty floral designs. So I took some of that and I put some ticking around for a ruffle, and I sat and I hand sewed that over about a month, just whenever we were watching a movie together, and I would just sit and hand sew, and I hand sewed that whole apron, and it is my favorite apron, and it is gorgeous, but it is wearing out. But that's one thing you can do. I just took the pattern off of an old apron. I didn't have to go buy a pattern and da-da-da-da-da. I just did it just because I wanted to. Okay, now one thing that's unique to aprons, when you wash them, they have long ties, right? So when you wash them with your other clothes, that tie wraps around, as the washing machine's doing its little motion, that tie wraps around your other clothes and you come out with this mess, right? It's just all tight, like it's hard, you have to unravel it. So what you can do is take those ties and tie them together in a really tight bow. And then as it washes, then you're less likely to have that mess at the end that you have to unravel. So, having said all that, recently, the Lord has been taking me on this journey of really concentrating on being sharp and being diligent. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to look at everything that I already have, just the amount of time He's given me and the amount of resources I have, and try to use them to their maximum benefit. Now, this has come to light that I really needed to do this because I've been really working on this project, the Commonplace book, right? And I was just feeling so crazy trying to find time for it with everything else going on. And so I said, Lord, I just can't do it unless you show me how. And He just led me on this journey, and He showed me that He's already provided the time that I need, but I just need to be more efficient, more diligent, more sharp with what I have. Now, for me, what that is when I have time, I can't do semi-productive things to put off doing the most productive things. I don't know if that makes sense. But things that you don't look forward to doing, you get all these other things you do so you can avoid doing that one thing. If you would just get that one thing done, then everything else would fall in place and you'd feel so much better. So God's been showing me that I need to have micro habits. I talked about them last time, and also to get more control of my time. So it's been a really good journey. I've really loved it because, when I talk about diligence and being sharp, that's actually in Proverbs, all those scriptures about being diligent, actually the same word is translated as like a knife or sharp. So it's the idea that you're cutting through the junk and getting to the best, right? This basically. So one thing that makes me afraid when I'm doing this is that I can become so competent that I forget that my reliance is on the Lord, and then it falls to pieces. Because, I mean, we can't do anything without the Lord. It just doesn't work out. So with that, I'd like to read to you some scripture and that will help like shed light on that whole idea. So here it is in Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 5 through 10. Okay, this is what the Lord says. Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, whose heart departs from the Lord, for he shall be like a shrub in the desert, and shall not see when good comes, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land which is not inhabited. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, and whose hope is the Lord, for he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreads out its roots by the river, and will not fear when heat comes. But its leaf will be green, and will not be anxious in the year of drought, nor will cease from yielding fruit. Okay, when we trust in man is in quotes, in our own strengths and abilities, okay, or in someone else's strengths and abilities to save us, we remove ourselves from the green, lush garden of God's presence to the outskirts where the river of his kindness cannot reach. When we remove ourselves from his presence, his kindness has trouble reaching us, even though he's still kind, even to those who hate him, isn't he? Okay, in that parched land, we become dried up and shriveled in our soul, and everything in life we see as being dried up and salted, as with our own tears of disappointment. But when we trust in God, we are connected with the life-giving stream. We dwell in the fresh greenery of hope, and we are certain there is a bright and promising future. Heat comes to all of us, doesn't it? To those who trust in flesh, it is burning and consuming. But to those who trust in God, it is barely noticed, because we are connected to the cool water which flows from the life of God. You know, that life of God. Jesus said, if we believed on him, from our innermost being will flow rivers of living water. So we always need to be connected into the vine and drawing our strength from him. And as we do that, and as God is directing our steps, and as we become more self-disciplined, as we learn self-mastery, then we are going to have the time and the resources we need every day to get those things done which God needs to bring his kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. So I hope that helps you today. Please like and subscribe and do all those wonderful things. And the Commonplace book, we're putting the final touches on the first volume this next week. So be looking for an announcement. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.